on, babies.
Here's your big names: Deshawn Watson, Xavier Howard, Allen Robinson, Brandon Cooks, Odell Beckham Jr., Marcus May from the Jets, Robbie Anderson, Miles Jack. And here's who I don't know. You can tell me. Patriots should or have been linked to in rumors: Xavier Howard, Brandon Cooks, Keem Hicks, who landed on a list I saw, Miles Jack, who I would love, Andre Dillard, who was a tackle on the Eagles, and Marlon Mack as a running back depth position. Where do you see? Just stick with the Patriots here, Raymond. Where do you see them in the trade deadline today, as this is released?
Xavier Howard. That's the only possible thing that you should go out and do. I mean, you have trouble with Jalen Mills as your second quarterback. Go out there and get a surefire cornerback that you know can play the position very well. Go out there and get him. That'd be a great pairing with J.C. Jackson too. That'd be a shutdown defense you could have.
I just don't see it happening just because it's in the division. I don't think Brian Flores is, regardless of what his relationship is with Bill Belichick, I don't think Stephen Ross is signing off on Xavier Howard going from Miami to New England. Yeah, I just don't see
What
it.
if it's a first round pick? That's sure.
I mean,
another
I
first rounder. They can go out and get the quarterback of the future because Tua is not the guy anymore.
I would do it. I floated the idea. I said I would do it first, but I think you can look elsewhere. Denver's got one Fuller, I think, out there in Denver who's pretty disgruntled. You could probably get him for a lot cheaper than moving to first. You could probably get him for a fourth or fifth round. Brandon Cooks, I don't think he's going anywhere.
The Texans said they want to build around Brandon Cooks,
which is not it's not bananas, but I mean his numbers are pretty legit. Anyways, Miles Jack should be the guy. I like Miles Jack. I think him and Matt Judon could form a pretty good punch because you're not getting shit out of Winovich, who's on IR. Josh Uche kind of fell off the map, and Van Noy and Hightower. I mean, you could probably get by with what you have in the secondary if you could shore up your linebacker spot. Truthfully, if you can get a little bit more pass rush out of anyone outside of Matt Judon, you're kind of golden there. And I think Miles Jack's the guy to do it in Jacksonville, and he is miserable. End quote.
Yeah, and he's so good if he's engaged. I just look at it from two perspectives. Number one, I don't put it past Bill Belichick to go out there and make a big splash. He's done it before. The Aqib Talib deal, which was a fourth-round pick, I believe, was a sixth.
Fourth.
Obviously, that changed the tides for the Patriots for a couple years running, and that's the type of move on defense that I would expect them to see. Not just because they need it this year, but J.C. Jackson's going to look to get paid, and I don't think they want to pay him because he's not a number one, and he's going to get paid like a number one. And I don't think they want to do that. So, yeah, maybe, Bill, the Dolphins don't want to trade him in division, but it's not the Jets. It's not like Patriots-Jets relationship where that's never happening.
May would look real good in a Patriots uniform.
And that's not happening. So I don't know if the Dolphins feel that way. They got shitty fucking ownership. If they get the right deal, I think they'll move him. And if Howard forces his hand, I also think that'll move him. And he's getting paid $14 million a year for the next 2 years.
Wants more, though.
He's got a guarantee next year, and he's got a couple fake years at the end. And he's 28 years old. That's a perfect guy right now for the Patriots. I don't know if they can pull it off. I don't know if they will. Probably not. Mack is another guy. Their linebacking core, you just laid it out, Bill. They need help. They need guys for the future. He's less than 28. What is he, 26 or something? He's only been in the league for 4 or 5 years. I'd love to see that. But let's be realistic. They spent $250 million on the offseason. They're probably not going to spend a lot more money. I don't think they can cap wise. They would have to do some.
Well, they moved Gilmore. That freed up $7 million on caps and cap space. His cap number was 16 million.
Yeah, and they brought in Collins, which is nothing. So, by the way, where the fuck is Jamie Collins?
Nowhere. He sucks.
I'd love to.
Miles Jack is 25 years old.
Oh,
I'd love to see it. I don't think you see anything like that. Keem Hicks is also getting paid a shit ton of money.
Love Keem Hicks.
I put Andre Dillard on there because I would like to see some linebacking depth, or I'm sorry, offensive line depth. And he's a tackle that if win or a win will go down,
we're fucked.
Good luck, Mac. Good luck.
Dude, I've been saying a window on right tackle since Brown went down, and it finally took him till last week to do it. It's like, what the hell, man? I understand trying to fix a problem with creating another problem. That's one of those things they don't like. But Ferentz or whoever the fuck they brought in for Miami, the center that they have at guard right now, or that Karras. I always get those two mixed up. Yeah, Ted Karras, who's starting at left guard now. I mean, Guy's a center. He could slide over. And if you really needed to get too creative, you could have put fucking David Andrews there, who could play there too. So I mean, there was other options.
Yeah, they waited too long for that to happen. Deshaun Watson, yes or no? Is he getting moved?
No.
Again, because of the 22 sexual assault cases against him. 22.
I think he's trying to settle. Peter King laid it out today. If he had just said, "Hey, here's $3 million, paid him all off, took his 6-game suspension," he'd be playing right now, or he would already got traded, which is what he wanted.
Yep. It'll be interesting. A lot of people are saying this is going to be more of a quiet deadline compared to years past in the NFL. But Von Miller going for a couple draft picks was a good way to start it off. I don't know. I'd like to see some fireworks.
Dude, that Rams team now, they're going for it. Good for them.
They have no draft picks next year, pretty much.
They got to win. They got to win this year because they're fucked moving forward.
Aaron Donald,
dump
Von
off
Miller,
half the team in a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because
Jalen
better
Ramsey.
win.
Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, they're two of the highest paid players in the league. Matthew Stafford's going to want to get another contract up here soon. I think he's up after this year or next year. I think he's got one more year left. He's going to want to get paid. So, I mean, there's some guys that you got to replace your left tackle, Andrew Whitworth. He's out. You know, he's 40 years old. They got some holes and no money to do it or draft picks.
They're going to be terrible in the next couple of years.
Well, this is why they sold out to win. Good.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Good for them. I mean,
but if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, it's a fucking all for nothing.
It's got to pay off.
Yep, it has to.